Imagine the vast and diverse continent of Asia. Towering skyscrapers in Tokyo, Seoul, and Singapore shine as symbols of innovation, while ancient temples in Bhutan and Angkor Wat remind us of rich histories. Asia is home to over half of the world's population and some of the fastest-growing economies. But beneath the surface, a quieter crisis is emerging. In the next 2 decades, many Asian countries will face a demographic shift unlike anything in their history. Fertility rates are dropping, populations are aging, and the balance between working adults and elderly dependents is changing at an unprecedented pace. This is not just a challenge for one nation. From Japan to Thailand, from China to Singapore, the patterns are surprisingly similar. Families are shrinking, marriages are delayed or foregone, rural towns are emptying, while urban housing costs soar. Over the next 20 minutes, we will examine this transformation. We will uncover what low birth rates mean for economies, social structures, and cultures. We will explore the consequences of aging societies and whether Asia can adapt before it is too late. First, let us understand the numbers. To keep a population stable, each woman needs to have around 2.1 children on average. This figure accounts for children who do not survive to adulthood and keeps populations balanced. In the 1950s, many Asian countries had fertility rates of 5 or 6 children per woman. Large families were common and communities were young. Today, the situation is the opposite. South Korea's fertility rate has fallen to around 0.7 children per woman, the lowest in the world. Japan hovers around 1.3. Singapore and Taiwan are below 1. Singapore's figure has been under 1.2 for over a decade. China, once worried about overpopulation, now faces the reality of its fertility dropping under 1.5. Even emerging economies like Thailand, Vietnam, and Malaysia are seeing declining birth rates. To understand the impact, think about this. If one generation has only 4.7 children per woman, then a group of 100 people will shrink to fewer than 20 after 4 generations. Towns that are lively today could become quiet villages or even disappear within a lifetime. Why is this happening? Urbanization plays a major role. Young people move to cities where housing is expensive, jobs are demanding, and raising children feels like an unaffordable luxury. Education costs are high, work hours are long, and cultural expectations around marriage and child-rearing often clash with modern lifestyles. Many young couples choose pets or personal freedom over large families. The consequences of shrinking populations are profound. Fewer people mean fewer workers. Economies depend on a healthy ratio of working adults to retirees. As the workforce shrinks, growth slows, innovation may stall, and tax revenues decline. Consider pension systems. Most were built on the assumption of a steady or growing workforce. In South Korea and Japan, the number of retirees relative to workers is growing quickly. In China, some provinces already face declining school enrollments alongside rising elder care costs. Pension funds that seemed sustainable are now strained. Healthcare becomes another challenge. Older populations require more medical care, yet fewer young workers are available to fund or provide that care. Governments must spend more on social services, often borrowing or raising taxes, which can further discourage young families from having children. Businesses also face talent shortages. Technology companies need engineers, manufacturers need technicians, and creative industries thrive on youthful energy. When fewer graduates enter the workforce, competition intensifies and salaries rise. But productivity can suffer if there simply are not enough hands and minds to drive projects forward. Beyond economics lies an equally important issue: culture. Many Asian societies are deeply rooted in family traditions. Festivals revolve around family gatherings. Ancestral homes are passed down, and respect for elders is central. But what happens when family sizes shrink dramatically? Loneliness becomes more common. In Japan, the term kodokushi describes dying alone with no family or friends to notice. Similar patterns are emerging in other countries. Communities where children once played in streets now see closed schools and empty playgrounds. Youth culture suffers too. Pop culture, innovation, and creativity often bloom from large, vibrant groups of young people. When those groups shrink, energy can wane. Small markets struggle to sustain industries like film, music, or gaming. Rural areas face depopulation. Entire towns may vanish as younger residents leave for cities. Fields go untilled, traditional crafts fade, and once vibrant local economies collapse. Older residents often stay behind without the support they once relied on from family and neighbors. If birth rates were to rise tomorrow, would it solve the problem? The truth is, even a quick turnaround would take decades to balance populations. A baby born today takes 20 years to become part of the workforce. Some countries are trying. Japan offers incentives, extended parental leave, and childcare subsidies. Singapore has some of the most generous family support policies, including financial grants and housing benefits for parents. China removed its one-child policy and now encourages families to have more children. Yet results are modest. Immigration is another option, but it raises its own challenges. Language, culture, and politics affect acceptance of migrants. Some societies are more open than others. Countries like Singapore and Malaysia have used immigration to sustain growth, but others remain cautious. Technology might offer partial relief. Automation and artificial intelligence could replace some labor. Remote work can expand job markets. However, these tools cannot fully replace the need for human caregivers, educators, or creative minds. Asia's demographic future is uncertain. What we know is that populations are aging, birth rates are falling, and time is short. The effects will be felt not only in economics, but in the very fabric of society. The choices made today will echo through generations. Governments must design policies that support families. Companies must value work-life balance. Communities must nurture connections and culture. This is not about avoiding change, but guiding it. Asia has faced monumental challenges before and has often emerged stronger. The same determination and innovation are needed now. The question is whether we will act while there is still time. The demographic clock is ticking, but it has not yet struck midnight.